You walk across the kitchen floor just like always, but lately it feels different. Not painful exactly, just heavier, a little slower, like your body's working harder for something that used to feel automatic. Maybe it's when you step off the porch and notice your balance shifts slightly, or when your knees ache after standing at the sink. It's not enough to call an injury, but something inside you whispers this isn't how it used to feel. And maybe you've chalked it up to age, to getting older, to wear and tear. But what if that quiet shift, the one you feel in your legs, your back, your energy, is not just time taking its toll? What if part of the problem is what's on your feet? Shoes, the pair you've trusted for years, the ones that still look fine, or the easy ones you slip on without thinking. What if those shoes are quietly shaping how you move, how you stand, even how long you stay active? Because here's the truth. The wrong footwear doesn't just cause sore feet. It slowly changes your posture, your balance, your confidence. And over time, it can steal the very independence you've worked so hard to keep. In this video, we're going to uncover 8 common footwear choices that many seniors wear every day without realizing the risks. And more importantly, we'll explore 3 simple changes that can help you move with more freedom, strength, and security again. So if you've ever felt like your body's working harder than it should, if you want to stay strong on your feet and avoid preventable falls, I invite you to stay with me until the end. Let's start with a type of shoe that many seniors rely on daily. It looks fine on the outside, but inside it may be quietly failing you. 1. The still good sneakers that secretly failed you. They sit by the door, the same pair you've been wearing for errands, walks, maybe even gardening. The tread looks okay, the laces still tie. They feel familiar on your feet, but inside they're no longer doing their job, and your body is the one paying the price. Most people don't realize that sneakers don't age the way we think. The outside can look just fine, but inside the support systems break down quietly. The foam that used to cushion your step gets hard and flat. The arch support softens and disappears. And what's left is a shoe that's no longer absorbing shock. So your joints do it instead. Every step you take sends force up through your feet, into your knees, your hips, your spine. It doesn't hurt all at once, but over time the strain builds up. Maybe your knees feel stiff after walking around the grocery store, or your lower back aches when you get home from a short trip. You think it's just aging, but it might be worn-out shoes. That's exactly what happened to George. He's 68 and lives in a small town in Kansas. A retired postman who used to walk miles every day, George stayed active even after retirement. But over time he noticed something had changed. His knees started aching more. He didn't want to go out as much. He figured it was just part of getting older. Then one day, while talking to a physical therapist at his local clinic, he mentioned his daily walks. She asked about his shoes. George proudly said his sneakers were still in great shape. No holes, no stains. But when she looked at them, she gently said, "They've already served their time." That pair was over 3 years old. George was skeptical, but he agreed to try something new. Within 2 weeks of switching to properly supportive sneakers, his knee pain dropped by more than half. He started walking farther. His energy came back, all from changing shoes that had quietly stopped protecting him. If your sneakers feel soft but your body feels sore, it might not be your age. It might be time for a new foundation. 2. The slip-on trap. When convenience becomes a risk, they're so easy. No bending, no laces, no fuss. Just slip them on and go. That's what makes them so tempting, especially when your hands don't move like they used to, or your back protests when you lean down. Slip-ons feel like a gift, but for older adults, they come with a hidden price. The problem with slip-ons isn't the comfort, it's the lack of structure. Most of these shoes have no real heel support. That means your foot slides around with every step. And to keep the shoe from falling off, your body starts to adjust. You take smaller steps. You grip the shoe with your toes. You shuffle instead of striding. Over time, these changes become habits. You don't even notice them happening, but your body does. Your ankles lose strength. Your calves stay tight. Your posture tilts. It becomes harder to react when the ground changes, like stepping off a curb or catching your balance on a rug. And that's when small slips turn into serious falls. Many older adults who fall weren't rushing. They were walking carefully, cautiously, in shoes that didn't hold their feet. Because what feels easy for your hands often makes life harder for your feet. If you've noticed yourself dragging your feet more lately, or leaning on the wall just a little longer to steady yourself, don't ignore it. It might be your shoes doing the teaching. And what they're teaching your body is to prepare for imbalance. Supportive shoes don't have to be hard to wear. There are options with Velcro, with elastic laces, with easy entry designs that still hold the heel firmly. What matters most is that your foot doesn't float. It should feel like it's part of the shoe, not slipping inside it. Because real safety isn't about softness. It's about structure. And your feet deserve that kind of support. 3. Slippers that soften your steps and steal your strength. They're warm, they're soft, and they're often the first thing we put on in the morning. For many older adults, slippers feel like comfort itself, especially after a lifetime of hard shoes and long days. But wearing them all day, every day, slowly weakens the very muscles that keep you moving. Most house slippers are designed for brief use, a walk from bed to bathroom, a short stroll through the kitchen. But when we wear them for hours while cooking, cleaning, relaxing, they become a daily habit, and habits shape our body. Without arch support, the feet collapse inward. Without heel structure, the ankles wobble. Without traction, the foot muscles stop engaging. It doesn't feel dangerous, not at first, but soon you notice stiffness in the morning, tight calves, a strange ache in your heel. It's your body quietly telling you that something's slipping. Slippers may feel safe because they're familiar, but familiarity can be misleading, especially when most falls among older adults happen right at home. On smooth tile, on stairs, while reaching for something across the counter. When your feet are always surrounded by softness, they stop receiving clear signals from the floor, and that's when balance starts to go, slowly, subtly, until one day you reach for a cabinet and feel the room shift under you. That's why good indoor shoes matter, not just for walking but for training. Your home can be a gentle gym, helping you stay strong in small ways all day long. Choose slippers with support, a real sole, a back that holds your heel, and don't live in them all day. Treat them like pajamas for your feet. Wear them to rest, not to move. Because every step in the wrong footwear isn't just a step towards soreness, it's a step away from strength. 4. The secret saboteurs, flat sandals and their deceptive ease. On warm days, it's tempting to slide into sandals that feel light and barely there. They give your feet freedom. They're easy to wear. And after decades of tighter shoes, that freedom feels well-deserved. But many flat sandals, especially the popular styles with thin soles or no arch, quietly dismantle your body's natural support with every step. Most people don't realize how important the arch of the foot is. It's not just a shape, it's a suspension system. And when that system isn't supported, the entire body shifts to compensate. The foot flattens, The knees rotate, the hips adjust, the back tightens. What starts as a light sandal can trigger a full body chain reaction. One of the most common signs is morning heel pain, that stabbing feeling when your foot first hits the ground. It's often a sign of plantar fasciitis, a condition made worse by shoes that offer no cushion or structure. And flat sandals are often the biggest culprits. But it's not just about arches. Most flat sandals don't hold the foot in place. That means your toes are constantly gripping to keep the shoe from sliding off. Over time, that weakens the muscles that control your balance. Your stride shortens. Your steps become guarded. And your body begins to move in defense instead of confidence. If you've been avoiding long walks or feeling less sure on uneven ground, your sandals may be quietly shaping that discomfort. Even without causing a major injury, they let little misalignments build up, day after day, until your feet stop trusting the floor. You don't have to give up sandals altogether, but you do need to be selective. Choose ones that support the arch, that hold the heel, that adjust to your foot instead of asking your foot to work harder. Your shoes should move with you, not against you, especially when your goal is to stay active through every season. 5. The weight you didn't know you were carrying heavy shoes. You probably haven't thought much about how much your shoes weigh, but your legs have. And if you've ever felt unusually tired after walking, even when the distance wasn't far, your footwear might be silently adding resistance to every step. Heavy shoes come in many forms. Fashion sneakers with thick soles, durable hiking boots, even orthopedic styles designed for support, but built like bricks. The problem isn't the durability, it's that after age 60, every extra ounce matters. Our legs naturally lose strength and speed as we age. And when we add unnecessary weight, it makes each movement cost more energy. You might notice your feet start to drag, your hips begin to tighten, or your stride gets shorter without you realizing why. Linda, a 71-year-old former teacher from Oregon, experienced this firsthand. She had always been active, walking her neighborhood trail every afternoon. But when she switched to a new pair of orthopedic boots that felt supportive but bulky, something changed. She started skipping walks. She felt tired halfway through her route. At first, she thought she was just slowing down with age. It wasn't until a neighbor commented on how stiff her steps looked that she reconsidered. She tried a lighter, more flexible pair of sneakers. Within a week, her energy returned. She started walking farther. Even her posture improved, all from changing the weight at her feet. Heavy shoes might feel stable, but if they slow you down, they're working against your goals. The best footwear for aging bodies is light, supportive, and responsive. It should make movement easier, not harder, because the more energy your feet save, the more you have for the things that matter. 6. The hidden harm of stylish shoes with narrow toes. Style never stops mattering. Whether it's a church gathering, a family dinner, or just wanting to feel put together, looking good still feels good. But when fashion comes with narrow toes, stiff soles, or unforgiving shapes, it often comes at the cost of long-term comfort and safety. Tight shoes don't just squeeze your foot. They reshape it. Corns, bunions, hammer toes, nerve compression. These are not just cosmetic issues. They change how you walk. They reduce your balance. And they make each step more cautious, more tentative, more painful. Most seniors grew up in an era where beauty sometimes meant enduring discomfort. But now that discomfort can become a real danger. When your toes are squeezed together, they can't spread and grip the way nature intended. That weakens your foundation. And when the ground feels uncertain, your body tenses up to protect itself. What's more, hard soles and stiff uppers reduce your ability to absorb impact. That means every step on pavement or tile sends pressure straight up your legs. You may not notice it at first, but your knees and hips certainly do. The goal isn't to give up style, it's to balance it with structure. There are now shoes that offer both. Wider toe boxes, hidden cushioning, softer materials that still look elegant, because comfort doesn't mean compromise. And the right shoe doesn't just complete your outfit, it supports your life. 7. Backless mules, a fashion that makes you fall. They're easy, they're trendy, and they slip on like a dream. For many older women, especially, backless mules or clogs are a go-to choice for quick outings or casual comfort. But here's what often gets overlooked. When there's nothing holding your heel in place, your entire walking pattern shifts, and not in a good way. Without a strap or back support, your foot has to do extra work just to keep the shoe on. Your toes grip, your steps shorten, your stride becomes more like a shuffle. You might not notice it at first, but your body does. The muscles that control balance start compensating. The ankles tighten, the calves work harder, the hips adjust, and your spine quietly bears the load. This isn't just about foot fatigue, it's about balance. And once that delicate system starts to wobble, every uneven surface becomes a risk. Rugged stairs, even slightly sloped sidewalks can become hazardous if your foot slips, but your shoe doesn't follow. That half-second delay can lead to a fall. And as we age, those reactions just aren't as fast as they used to be. The bigger problem is that these changes are so subtle they sneak into daily life. You might find yourself grabbing a handrail more often, holding the wall as you move through the hallway. Not because you're weak, but because your shoes aren't supporting your natural movement anymore. Your footwear should move with you like a trusted partner, not slide away the moment you step onto something slick. That's why shoes with proper heel support are so important. They stabilize the entire chain of motion from your feet to your spine, and they train your body to walk with confidence instead of caution. So if your go-to pair doesn't hold your heel, it might be holding back your strength. The right shoe doesn't just feel good, it keeps you standing tall. 8. The one shoe for everything myth. There's something satisfying about having that one dependable pair. The shoes that feel just right, the ones you trust for walks, for errands, for yard work, and even the occasional outing. But the truth is, no single shoe can meet every need. And trying to make one pair do it all can slowly wear down your feet, your balance, and your mobility. Different activities demand different support. Walking on pavement requires shock absorption and heel stability. Gardening needs ankle protection and grip for uneven ground. Moving around the house needs lightweight traction and posture support. When you wear the same pair for all three, you're asking that shoe to be everything. And most shoes can't do it. Walter 76 learned this the hard way. He had a solid pair of sneakers that he loved. Wore them for his daily walks, worked in the garden, even wore them to church when dress shoes felt too tight. They looked fine on the outside, but one morning while stepping out onto his dew-covered back deck, he slipped. Just a minor fall, but enough to twist his knee and knock his confidence. What he didn't realize was that the tread had been worn smooth from months of use in the yard, and the support had weakened from being bent in too many ways too often. That single pair had quietly reached its limit. It's not about spending more. It's about thinking in zones. A shoe for daily support, one for activity-specific tasks, one for safe indoor movement. When you give your feet what they need for the moment they're in, they thank you with better balance, less pain, and more confidence. Shoes are tools, not decorations, not afterthoughts. And using the wrong tool for the job can turn a simple day into a risky one. When you divide your footwear with purpose, you multiply your safety. And that simple shift can be one of the smartest choices you make for your future mobility. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this video, it's this. Your feet carry your life. Every step you take reflects not just where you've been, but how you feel moving forward. And the shoes you choose are not just footwear. They're part of your freedom. You don't have to wait for a fall or a diagnosis to make a change. Sometimes the most powerful steps come quietly, in the comfort you feel when your shoes finally support you, in the ease of walking across the room without hesitation, in the peace of knowing you're doing what you can to protect your independence. Aging doesn't have to mean shrinking your world. It can mean refining it, making small choices that strengthen your body, respecting what your feet need today, not just what they used to handle, and believing that even after 60, 70, or 80, you still have the power to move stronger and stand taller. Because just like we said earlier, your footwear choices today shape your mobility tomorrow. And your mobility shapes how fully you live the years ahead. So if this message spoke to you, I invite you to subscribe to Longevity Secret. Like this video to help others find it, and please share in the comments. Tell us your story. What shoes have helped or hurt? What changes you're thinking about? You're not alone, and your experience could help someone else make a life-changing decision. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself. Keep walking forward. And remember, you're not too old to stay strong. You're just too wise to wear the wrong shoes. I'll see you in the next video.